What's up, guys? We are back. Fitness Profit Multiplier, Anthony and Jimmy. Today, we're going to be talking about the word no. The word no and how that word no is going to make you more money. Now, the word no, and I kind of know where we're going to go with this episode. Jimmy, this was Jimmy's topic for today, guys. So I'm not really sure where he wants to go with this, but I kind of think I know where he's going to go. So, as a gym owner, you're going to get bombarded with things to do. And this happens to me frequently. Hey, Anthony, can you come speak over here? Hey, Anthony, I'm doing a workshop at school. Can you come speak here? And in the beginning, I said yes to everything. And there's a time and place that you should, right? You should say yes to all these things. And I will say, if you do say yes to these things, make it worth your while. Even if you don't end up getting clients, record it. Record it so you have an asset that you could use later. You could use it to show, like, hey, look, I'm an authority in the area. I'm speaking, you know? But at some point, you have to start saying no. So, for a good example, for me, someone asked me to go and speak at a school that was probably about 30 minutes away from my current gym. So, I already know I'm not going to get any clients out of that because they're just too far. It's not close enough. And I don't need the content. So if I would have said yes, it would have cost me money and I would have lost money. So I had to decline the offer. So this is just kind of like the things that you need to think about when you get to certain stages in your business. And yeah, Jimmy, take us away, man. I'm curious where you're going to go with this.
Yeah. So like Anthony was saying, in the beginning, you say yes to everything, right? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is coming into your business and saying, hey, we want to, get some advertising for the local athletics pamphlet, right? Like those pamphlets they hand out at athletic events, right? Oh, we want to get, put your marketing in here. Oh, put your marketing on a billboard. Oh, let's do this event. Oh, can you sponsor a table at this event? Can you come to a local run that's going on in your local area? And or not even your local area, maybe it's in the main city and they're like, oh, it'd be a great opportunity for you to sponsor your business here, right? And these are just marketing examples, but there is marketing that falls flat on its face, right? And a lot of these marketing efforts that fall flat on their face are these things where if you set up a table and you have all these freebie giveaways, or you put an ad out in one of these sports pamphlets that the school puts together that are just fundraisers for those organizations, right? A lot of those efforts fall flat on their face because one, they're out of your target market, and two, they're not something that has a direct response element that's trackable. So you have to say no to some of these things eventually. In the beginning, it's okay to do them, right? But at a certain point, you realize that it is a bit of a waste of time, right? Now, if you're in pre-sale or you're just opening a facility, getting your name in everywhere possible makes a lot of sense. But over time, you have to say no, because by saying no to those things, you can focus more on developing your referral strategy within your facility. You can focus on developing your staff. You can focus on developing your sales skills and developing your staff's sales skills, right? And we can focus on these things that need to be focused on more, that have a better return on investment, as opposed to the time that's spent doing these things that are going to be, they're not going to have a great ROI. In addition to saying no to those things, you have to say no to certain clients, okay? And I know that this, it's like, oh, I need the money, I want to train everybody, this and this and that. But there are certain clients that are going to take up a majority of your staff's bandwidth, create a sour culture within your facility, and drain your staff when they train that person. So this was a hard learned lesson in the beginning of my journey, where we had a client who would not use our software to schedule sessions, refused to, would speak in, for lack of a better term, a bigoted kind of way in the middle of sessions with other people, and was almost mean mugging my coaches because she didn't feel as if she was getting enough attention in small group sessions, right? And it became this issue that destroyed some of the culture of some of the sessions at our facility. So you have to fire that client, right? You have to say no to training that person. And when you start to see these personality traits in people that come into your facility, when you're having meetings with them, sometimes you have to say no so that you can better help the other people, right? You have to say no to certain people that are so injured that you can't help them, even though you want to help everyone, right? They're currently in physical therapy. They need to go get surgery, all these kinds of things. Because if you say yes, 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 yes to all this whole process, they're going to waste your time. They're going to keep you from getting somebody that's actually qualified to come into your facility. And this is not to say that you're going to sit down with people and go, oh, well, this person's not qualified, this person's not qualified. Like we talk about in another episode where, you know, people want a certain avatar of person, and if somebody doesn't fit into that avatar, they just disqualify people and tell them that they're not for their gym, and then they end up being a broke gym owner. We're not talking about that, but we're talking about real reasons to say no to a specific client. If they're souring the culture, they're too injured to train with you, right? Or they're just an ass, right? Like you don't want those people in your facility taking up all of your staff's time. So when we talk about saying no, you can say no to certain speaking events if they're outside of your target market range, right? It's good to say yes to speaking events that are really close by, that you have connections with. Like I just spoke at a mortgage brokerage firm that is literally 2 streets over from where my gym is, right? And I train a handful of people that work there at my facility. So that's a good speaking engagement to do. But like Anthony said, if you have a speaking engagement that's 30, 45 minutes away from your facility, or it's in the main town, right? Like we're in Seattle over here. We're in a suburb of Seattle. So we're 45 minutes from Seattle as a city. We go to a running event in Seattle itself. It's not worth us doing. It's not worth the time, effort, and energy, right? You're better off mastering your digital marketing and improving your sales skills, because that's what's going to get you ahead. So saying no to those things and saying no to the clients that are going to sour your culture are the 2 main things as a gym owner you're going to have to say no to, right? And on top of that, saying no when you need an employee, but you can't find somebody that fits your culture, right? So let's say you're in a position where you need another staff member, right? And the staff members that you're getting in to interview just aren't cutting it, right? Don't just put a body in there to put a body in there, because you could lose more money based on putting somebody in there that doesn't fit than putting nobody in at all, right? So you have to say no until you find the right fit, because you'll make more money in the long run than having a trainer that your clients don't jive with, or a trainer that is going to sour the product that you have and not follow through. So say no to those events, say no to bad clients, say no to bad trainers, right? Those things will continue to make you more money in the long run.
I want to say too, to tack on to what you said, and then we'll wrap this up. But you know, to tack on to what you said about the trainers, also saying no. So if a trainer comes up to you and says like, "Hey, I want more hours," and you don't have the hours to give them, it's okay to say no. It's okay to not give the staff exactly what they want, because they're there to service you. It's not the other way around where you're there to service them. So sometimes in some scenarios, you might find yourself bending backwards and trying to do all these things. So for example, we had a trainer with us who was leaving. He told me he was going to leave because he wanted a different job or whatever it was. And we kept him on because he was a good trainer and we wanted him there. We kept him on just to keep him on. So that was, I should have said no to that and just let him go immediately and not wasted time and money doing that. So going back to the title of this episode, how saying no makes you more money. In that case, if I would have said no to that, it would have saved me a lot of money. So sometimes you find yourself doing these things, even for like Jimmy mentioned it a little bit with clients, but it happens a lot with staff too. Sometimes we don't even realize it, but it does. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. So that's it, guys. Learn to say no more than yes sometimes, and it will go a long, long way. Guys, links in the description, whole bunch of stuff down there. Just click down there and you'll find some cool things. Until next time, Anthony and Jimmy, Fitness Profit Multiplier, we are out.